Hey guys, so a little bit of a late should you summon video. I'm gonna cut it pretty quick if I can, because I would like to get this out about the hour after I'm done filming it. But we have a pretty good banner this week, but I don't really think that you guys should be summoning on it. And it's not just because we might have some cool stuff in the future, but because I know we're gonna have cool stuff in the future. I have some banner arts that are gonna be coming that I'll just show off pretty quickly and all of that stuff. And I'll give you guys some answers. So it does wholly depend on your account. This is not a black and white. Should you summon? Yes, you should summon because of this. No, you should summon because of that. I will be breaking it down so that you can come to the decision yourself. So let's get into it.
Do you want a break from the ads? Oh wait, that's the wrong ad read. Sorry. This video is sponsored by SmileOne. So SmileOne is the official third-party payment platform for the game and has quite a few benefits for you to use them. So number one, and the big one, is that you get a permanent discount on all W Gold you buy. W Gold then being used to buy stuff in game, so you're overall saving money compared to buying it in the game. And then you also get some benefits, like there is going to be a top-up event between the 30th of August and the 9th of September, where you can get rewards based on certain milestones that you reach. And if you want to support me, then you can click my affiliate links down below. As you can see right here, we have the thing open. You just click my links, go over here, and then you can buy whatever, and it helps me out a little bit. Thank you to SmileOne for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to the rest of it.
Now, to start off, we're going to talk about the 2x just quickly. Don't summon on this unless you are very early. If you only have a handful of Legos, you're super early on, first couple weeks, definitely pull on this one. You want to go for quantity over quality, because by the time you get enough heroes to really go through the game, you're going to have a lot of these really good heroes, and then you can go off of that. But for the average later game, mid-game person, or just people who want specific Legos, this is what you should be summoning on, which is the Special Invocation of Spirits, the 15X. And there are two heroes on this, both very good heroes. It is very rare to have two really solid heroes, but they are two heroes that either you don't necessarily need specifically or have been a bit power creeped, at least in Valeriya's case. Valeriya still is very strong, one of the better fighters in the game. She has an AoE burst after her ult. Basically, she hits a bunch and then she has an AoE burst. She gains unyielding during this, so she will not die during her ult. Very good for stuff like the epilogue of Void Rift, which is a very late game content. Gear Dungeon 2, the later stages, which is a very end game content, stuff like that. She is SSS tier. She is one of the best fighters in the game for it, purely because of this unyielding ability. She's very strong. She has self heal. She does a lot of damage. Great fighter. She's really good for certain campaign stages, like the really late, like part 9 ones. She's really good for stuff like AMR, if you're still struggling on AMR, stuff like that. Valeriya's a very good fighter, and she will continue to be very good. But currently, she is not as good as she used to be. She is also very viable in Arena if you do not have any other options. She used to be the meta, now she's very off meta. And then the other person is debatably the best tank in the game, which is Brokkir. Brokkir just straight up is amazing. He has everything you want in a tank. If you didn't know, in this tank, for tanks in this game, you want a couple things. You want shields, you want unyielding, which is the most important one, and then you really want some like damage reduction or and then some really great stats. And Brokkir has all of those actually. The only thing he's missing versus like Cyrus, who is the actual best tank in the game, but Brokkir is definitely like around the same level. Is Cyrus has more damage reduction, and while Brokkir does have the unyielding over Cyrus, Cyrus is still really good. But outside of that really specific example, Brokkir is the best tank in the game, and you do want to use two tanks for most content, so he ends up being viable and usable in every piece of content. Void Rift, Gear 2, really late game content like Guild. He's one of the best Guild tanks. His freeze makes him amazing. He has an insanely good ult, having an amazing freeze. He has an amazing unyielding ability. His awakenings are good. His A1 inflicts freeze more often, which for Guild is insanely good. His A3 is really good. His A5 is godlike for Gilby Guild. You know, he is truly, if you care about Gilby Guild, you want him and you want his awakenings. Just straight up. If you're gonna run a no healer keep comp, which I know is pretty advanced, if you do know what I'm talking about, I'm not gonna explain it because it'll make this last too long. You do need his A5 for that type of thing, but just know that he puts damage reduction on people around him. You know, he's really really good at a lot of things that he does. He's just all around one of the best tanks in the game. Straight up, if you do not have Brokkir, I would pull on this banner, especially if you do not have a good other tank. If you do not have Cyrus, if you do not have Regulus, if you do not have, you know, all of these really tanky, really good tanks, he's definitely a contender to pull for. The only thing is the epic tanks, Baron and Olog, do the job for 90% of content in this game. But you do want to pull for him. If you do not have Valeriya, I do think you need to really evaluate your account. Where are your fighters at specifically? If you look, sorry, 1 second. If you look, like if you don't have arrogance, I can confirm that there will be an arrogance banner that we have in the files, which most likely will be coming to global in the next month or two. And it has another unit on it that's really good. I'll show you the image in a second. You know, like if you have Zillitu, if you have, I mean, Volka's really good now. If you have Lust, like all of these things, you just gotta look at your fighters, see where you are. If you're lacking fighters, 100% pull for her. If you do not have any fighters, then I would take a little bit of a breather, and that is the way I look at it. So it is up to your account. Definitely take a look. Fighter, really good fighter. If you have all the other good fighters, don't need to go for her. Brokkir, I would go for if you care about any like Gilby Guild or anything, or if you just are missing some good tanks, because he is the de facto best tank. You really will struggle in the uber endgame stuff if you do not have Brokkir. But after that kind of breakdown, let me quickly go over some banners that could be coming pretty soon. So I will have a banner video dedicated to just the banners, but let me show you some things that really show that you should be saving. And to start off, we have 2 new heroes on one banner. I cannot confirm if this is a real thing. I do have to check with my boys. But for now, we have the Beelzebub character, which Fasty made a video on. If you guys don't know, this is what it looks like. And then this is a girl where when you place her down, she does insane amount of damage. This has been talked about already. And then here, for my last video, we have this girl right here, and arrogance is actually in the art. So if this is a real banner, this will be a banner I highly recommend you guys save for. So this might kind of skew your decision making. And at the end of the day, that's why you're watching these videos, is to really see this kind of upcoming content information. And we are still getting Numera, we are still getting Xeris. Kirigiri is coming very soon. I will have an updated video on him when I get to cover his kit fully. So, you know, just to clear up any confusion about my video. But I do think I did have to make that video at the time. He has probably the coolest animation in the game when you pull him. I will definitely have a video covering that as well. So that'll be cool. Just keep in mind, Kirigiri is supposed to come out in about 3 weeks. So keep that in mind. And then we also have this character coming very soon, Talula, sorry, which you can watch my previous video on, and then these heroes, which I will be making videos on probably right after this one, actually. So expect that either today or tomorrow, for at least one of them, and then, you know, Epic Arbiter, Beelzebub, all of this stuff. So that's everything, though, for this video. I do think this is an amazing banner, and if you need these heroes, you should pull on it, but there's a lot of stuff coming in the future that I would definitely be wary of, and I do expect the update to go through hopefully pretty soon, so keep that in mind as well when you're making your decision. So that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching, and I do appreciate y'all. Destined, signing out.